the Fold series today just has not been a series of phones which I felt were applicable for my use, because I work around ponds. I got pond back there, you're sitting on the edge of a pond here now, I got another pond up there, I have another pond over beyond, I got a pond in my office, and I have multiple tanks and aquariums. And when I'm doing videography or photography for my social media, it's generally for the joy of aquascaping. That's my channel, and it's all about goldfish and different types of fish and stuff. I usually put the phone in the water and use my phone to get videos of the fish. So an IP68 water resistance rating is really important to me. Really important to me. The dust, not so much, but I need an 8 at the end, because otherwise the phone is just gonna, well, it's not gonna last very long. And unfortunately, my Note 10 Plus 5G, which I've been using for the last year or so, a bit more, fantastic phone, absolutely love it. S Pen is amazing because I can use that underwater and get great videos, good quality stuff. And the benefit, even though the cameras I felt weren't quite as good as the Huawei P30 Pro underwater, I felt the benefit was that I could jump into things like wide angle, I could get those close-up shots, because I could use the S Pen, even when the camera was underwater, to pick out my focus spot, which was really important to me, because if it's underwater and the focus is jumping back and forth, you can touch the spot, lock it in with the S Pen, which overrides the commands that the water is kind of giving the screen, because your fingers just won't work on the screen when it's underwater. You can't press buttons, you can't lock things in. So the S Pen works really good. So like the Note 10 Plus has been the perfect phone for it, until I dropped it for the second time and I put another hole in the screen, and now it's like it's that close. It's that close to, like, I'd say the next drop of water gets in it, I'm probably going to start losing pixels. So it's definitely not going in the pond. So I thought to myself, oh, this Fold, it looks great, but no, not interested. I'll go get myself maybe the Sony Xperia Mark III this time, waterproof, got all the bells and whistles for the camera. Hang on, what's that? That's an S Pen, you say, with this Fold? That's an interesting thing. And I use my Tab SM Plus all the time as well for drawing and stuff. And then I saw a picture of it in water, and I was like, hang on a second, what is this? IPX8 water resistance, no dust resistance. I got some theories behind that, but why Samsung would just go for the X, just not bother getting it certified at all. I think it all revolves around that hinge. But oh my goodness, this is now a phone that I could seriously see myself getting, and I did. I'm actually recording on it now at the moment. I got delivered today. I put in a pre-order. It arrived a little bit later than expecting. With no pen, I'm going to have to get that as part of the pre-order sale gift pack. That I'll get that sent out by Samsung eventually. But in the meantime, yeah, I got my phone to use. I got a phone I can now put underwater again, and we're going to go test that. We're going to put the Z Fold 3 underwater and see how we get on getting some pictures and videos of some fish in my pond, using a new waterproof, I can't believe it, Fold Mark III. This is going to be awesome. Okay, so I'm in Ultra HD, 60 frames a second. So I can get some nice landscape shots. Which is great for YouTube, that kind of thing. Absolutely awesome. This guy is such a big chunker. Aren't you, buddy? Now, unfortunately, it seems to have the problem where the water gets in. I'm recording this audio afterwards. My goodness, it's yeah, you can hear it's quite muffled still. The water's just sitting in the microphones longer than it would, say, for example, on my Note 10 Plus. But what I want you to focus on this video, not the sound, because it's the same pretty much with every smartphone, but how quickly the focus is moving from the eyes and the different fish. It's moving in and out very quickly. The focus is amazing, and it's not getting caught on any of the particles, just on the fish themselves. The focus is jumping around amazing. It's enjoy, because this is a great system. I'm really impressed with it so far. using the internal camera here now at the moment. This is pretty bad quality, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the strength. I would love to see a better camera in here. Yeah, absolutely, I would. Of course I would. I want every camera to be the best camera can be, of course. But for zooms and stuff like this, for your meetings and stuff, this is like for video calling and stuff like that, where everything's gonna get crushed down anyway by your service provider. This is a pretty good piece of kit actually to have on the inside. The screen it's a pity because I can't really take advantage of the full screen. And if I look at the center of the screen, you can probably see my eyes now at the moment are drifting off to the side because the microphone is up here, or the camera's up to the side. But anyway, all that aside, it's fine. It's a nice little addition to have in there. Of course I wish it was better. I always wish cameras were better. But yeah, not a bad piece of kit to have in here. And I do actually like the fact that it gets covered over for the best part by those couple of pixels. It works quite well. I've seen a lot of people complain about it, but to be honest with you, so far I'm actually enjoying it more than, like, I'm spending more time enjoying the fact that it's not there than I am actually using the internal camera. So yeah, so for me it works a treat. It's absolutely fine. You know what, it would not be fair in this, guys, if we didn't test it in here as well. Let's see how we get on. Ooh, looking good, guys. This is Super what is, they can't be doing that on camera, you old devil. So I find this to be a really useful way to do health checks on the fish. You can see one here has 1 or 2 scales knocked off it, most likely a female that was probably getting pushed around by the males. I see one there has a little bit of excess growth along its lateral line, something to monitor. There's shark bite. Actually, that's not shark bite. Shark bite's one of the other guys who has his whole fin nearly missing. But you can see you're getting a good view of these guys. This is really good. Like, this is a nice quality image from this. I can say I feel that it's a little bit brighter perhaps than a Note 10 Plus. Because this water is not super bright. This is quite dark now at the moment. But we're getting some really good autofocus. I have to say, it's very quick. That lady is usually quite shy, so let's see if we can get a little closer. Yeah. There's Amazonia down there. Hey, buddy. The big lady down there. But yeah, so far, it'll be interesting to see if the water... Yeah, water fully comes off of the camera as well, which is really nice. Oleophobic lens coating is working really well. The more you wipe the lens, the more that's going to wipe off. But yeah, I can safely say that there is no water. You'd be able to see the effect of water up there. None left on the camera lens. So that's after working out a treat. Now, that said, I'm trying to press the stop button here and it won't let me, so I'm going to have to use the volume rocker. That was good. That was good. I'm not going to lie. I'm really happy with the way that is working out. Phone is a little bit slippy, so I'm glad that it's IP8 rated at the end, because I'd say there is a chance that if I'm using this in the pond, it could end up dropping in. It's working really well. I'm really happy. You've seen the quality, you can judge it for yourself and see what you think, but I have to say I'm finding the autofocus is quite good. I'm finding the amount of light that the sensor is picking up is quite good. I will be really interested to see if the S Pen works with it very well under the water, the way it does with my Note 10 Plus. I can't show you that now at the moment because of the fact that there are holes in the screen, but essentially if I do the same thing with the Note 10 Plus and I put the cameras underneath the water, I can touch anywhere on the screen with the nib of the S10 Plus and it will select that area, and I can also go through my different camera modes and stuff like that, shutter button, all the rest, which is really, really useful. Can't do it on any other phone that I've come across yet. I'd be very surprised if I couldn't do all the same things on this phone, given that the S Pen does have kind of a feature where it overrides other touch inputs and stuff like that, which the water would be one of those touching against the screen. So I reckon it's going to be good to go. But I am really happy with this. This is really, really good. I think it's going to be... I don't see any issues with the longevity of it. I don't think it's going to cause any issues at all. I think that it's just really important that you get the water out of that hinge, give it a bit of a shake and try to get that water out of there. And if you have somewhere that you can leave your phone that's going to get it nice and dry, I think that's probably a good idea. Not necessarily to apply tons of heat to it and drive that in a steam or anything like that, but in a nice dry area. It's really important, because the thing about it is they've coated the internals with a long-term grease. That's basically what we've got inside, and I think that's the very specific reason why we don't have a rating for dust. It's IPX8 rated. Now, I'll be interested to see the teardown, and I can make some more assumptions on it. But like, my background is an aircraft technician, so I'm really interested in my tech, and I don't see how they could have a waterproofing system in there that also comprises of a long-term grease and it not attract dust. I think that I'd have a concern about that. So I think actually periodically maybe getting it wet would potentially rinse dust out of there if dust gets in. But I am interested to see a teardown video, but I think that what they've probably had to do in this case to get moisture out, perhaps leave out that little kind of fabric strip that they had last time, which was what was keeping out the dust and giving it the dust rating. I'd imagine that they've removed that so that water can egress and get back out of that hinge mechanism, so that it's not trapped inside for a longer period of time, so that it basically just doesn't corrode anything. And that's the main thing with water, particularly if you're going to use anything other than pure fresh water. Even the pond water itself does have some things in it the fish are eating, and there's waste, and there's different bits and pieces like that between water changes, and like, I mean, they just had something to eat there, so there's loads of bits in the pond. But they're tiny little particles, and when they dry, they can just get kind of crusted onto the surface of materials and stuff like that. So it's really important that if you're going to do that, I'm going to just give my phone a rinse off every day in some fresh water from the sink, and I know it'll be absolutely fine. And there is a little bit of chlorine in the sink there as well, in your tap water, your city water and stuff, so it's important to be mindful of that kind of stuff as well. But so far, I think this is a really good system. I think it's working really well. I can't believe how sturdy it is. My first foldable. The technology is absolutely fantastic. I can't get over how sturdy it is. It just feels like two phones that have been literally welded together. It is a little bit slippy. Just bear that in mind if you're going to be using it around the water and stuff like that, especially if you've got any greasy fingers from having put on sun cream or anything like that, moisturizer or anything like that. It's going to be very difficult to hold onto this phone once it gets wet. So if it's any more than 1.5 meters down, you might be in trouble trying to reach it, never mind anything else. But for me, I think I'm going to get a ton of use out of this. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you enjoy a couple of underwater videos as I am signing off. And I really appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to do tons more videos on this phone. My background is professional photography, so I'm going to put the cameras through their paces as well. And we'll be getting really stuck into this phone and putting it through its paces over the course of the next couple of weeks. So yeah, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Here's some fish. Take care. Bye-bye.